The Toledo Rockets won their first round NCAA tournament game against Iowa State in the women's NCAA tournament. 80-73 was the final score. Toledo improves to 29-4 overall, and they have won 17 straight games. So Toledo, they played well in the first quarter. They were trailing 23-20 at the end of the first quarter. They played well. They stuck in the game very nicely. And then the second quarter, they really took control. And they went up by 7 at halftime, 43-36. Quenisha Lockett did not score in the first quarter. And then the rest of the game, she was just huge. She ended up having 24 points and 13 rebounds in the game. Toledo opened up as much as a 16-point lead in the third quarter. With 5:07 left in the third quarter, they were up 57-41. And they had a 8-point lead, 61-53 at the end of the third quarter. So Iowa State made a bit of a comeback late in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, but Toledo really wouldn't let them get much closer than that. Played very well down the stretch, despite getting called for quite a few fouls. Some of those fouls definitely seemed questionable. It seemed like there were times that they weren't really letting the players play on the court, and too many fouls were being called. And Iowa State was making their foul shots. It was but that really helped them to come back a bit in the game because they weren't really shooting that well. Toledo's defense was playing very well, but then when they got easy foul shots, they were making those shots, and that helped them to stay in the game a bit. But Toledo held on, won the game 80-73. Like I said, Quenisha Lockett had 24 points. Sophia Wired had 15 points. I think she started out with 10 points in the first quarter, if I remember. So didn't score as much after that, but, her play, her physical presence, her dribbling and controlling the ball and so forth on offense was huge throughout the game. Jada Jansen came off the bench with 17 points. She had a great game. Nan Garcia off the bench with 12 points. She played quite a bit because Cook got into foul trouble early on, and Garcia was tough for Iowa State to play against, really. Garcia was able to score inside. She hit 3-pointers from the outside, and she played very well defensively as well. So that was really good to see. And then Sammy McConowitz only scored 4 points, but she had 10 rebounds in the game. So that was very good for Toledo as well. But Jansen and Garcia coming off the bench, 29 points just between those two players. That's huge. That is huge in an NCAA tournament game as well. So for the Rockets, they beat Iowa State. Iowa State was 5th seed, and they won the Big 12 tournament. So huge game. Iowa State was a 10-point favorite in this game, but I think a lot of people were calling for Toledo for the upset in this game as well. And that's exactly what we saw. Toledo controlled the game pretty much from the second quarter on. And, like I said, they played very well in the first quarter as well. So, but from that second quarter on, they really controlled the game, and Iowa State was just outplayed. It's that simple. They were outplayed by Toledo. So the Rockets, 17 straight wins now. They're going to play the 4th-seeded Tennessee Volunteers on Monday, 6 p.m. on ESPN2. Of course, this is at Tennessee, their home court, so going to be a lot of orange in that arena on Monday evening. And, there's a decent contingency of Rocket fans. Toledo fans traveled very well for this game. They're going to stay for this second game, no doubt about it. And for Toledo, it's a chance for a potential berth into the Sweet 16 if they can win this game. So it'll be interesting to see. Tennessee, they defeated St. Louis 95-50 by 45 points in round one. They just dominated that game. And they're going to be a tougher game inside, right? Down low, it's going to be a tougher game than what they saw with Iowa State. Iowa State is more of a 3-point shooting team, and they didn't shoot the ball as well in this game. Tennessee can really play all over, but they're a very good team inside, and it's going to make it an interesting matchup with Cook and Garcia for Toledo matched up against Tennessee's players down low. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That game again is Monday, 6 p.m. on ESPN2. I'm actually recording this episode on Sunday evening to go out on Monday morning. So you hear me saying Monday a couple times here. That's why I'm saying it, even though it's being released on Monday. So, it'll be great to watch this game again, more national exposure for the Toledo women's basketball program. Things are really looking up. The recruiting has gone very well in the last few years, and winning this first NCAA tournament game and getting into a game against Tennessee in the second round, a shot to go to maybe win to go to the Sweet 16 is just huge for recruiting for Toledo. Already known as a team that plays well and a school that has very good attendance. They've led the MAC in women's attendance 32 years in a row. And they've been top 30, I think it is, like something like 10 of the last 12 years or something in that range, right? In attendance average in the country. So they have a lot of fans for women's basketball that travel well as well. And that's something that recruits like to see. And then you put in the fact that they won the MAC tournament 2 straight years, winning the MAC regular season title and then winning the MAC tournament, and now going to the NCAA tournament and beating the Big 12's tournament champions in the first round. That's great for recruiting. That's a huge recruiting tool. And then getting to play Tennessee, we'll see how this game goes. But the future really looks bright for the women, recruiting is going to continue to do well when you can promote what the program is doing. So it's great to see. So, we've got the game Monday night here, 6 p.m., ESPN2, Toledo against Tennessee.